Stop slandering me, you... I've never seen any of you guys before. We're telling the truth. I still have a record of the bank transfer. I haven't moved a single cent of the money he gave me. I've got proof too. Jason was furious. He stared at them as they stood there holding out their phones. Jason, are you really responsible for all this? Jason didn't know what to say to her. After a while, Grandma Jones took a deep breath and looked at Brittany awkwardly. You'll have to forgive Jason. He's young and foolish. If you want to blame someone, blame me for not teaching him better. I'm disappointed in you, Jason. As of right now, I forbid you to be involved in our family business, and I also forbid you to leave the property for 1 year. Yes, Grandma. Are you satisfied now? That's all in the past now, but I do have a request. In order to prevent this kind of thing from happening again, Lily will be my contact for any further projects. I don't want to work with anyone else. Just when everyone thought that Brittany had finished, she walked up to Kevin and asked him, Mr. Williams, what do you think of my solution? Very good. With Grandma Jones giving him a very dirty look, Kevin slowly walked out of the mansion. Lily trotted out of the front door right behind him and said, Kevin, wait a second. What's the matter, my love? Lily blushed a little when Kevin called her that. Kevin, tell me honestly, did you already know the truth before you came here? And how do you know Brittany? Why did she call you Mr. Williams? Don't tell me you're jealous. I won't tease you anymore. To tell you the truth, Brittany and I went to school together. If you were classmates, then why did she call you Mr. Williams? And why did she come over and ask if you were okay with her decision? However, before Lily could press the issue any further, Kevin's phone suddenly rang. It must be my boss looking for me. I have to head to work. Take care of yourself. Kevin didn't give Lily a chance to ask any more questions. He just turned around and left. He saw that it was Phoebe calling. Hello, Miss Anderson. Kevin, I really need your help. I'm at the store. I'll be waiting for you at the door when you get here. Kevin waved down a taxi and got to Anderson Antiques in half an hour. As he paid the fare, he felt something in the pit of his stomach. As they walked toward the middle of the room, they could hear at least 10 of the local antique shop owners arguing loudly. I'd bet everything I own. This painting is definitely authentic. Then a third one responded, You don't know what you're talking about. Just look at the frame. There's no way this is genuine. Kevin squeezed through the crowd and saw a man watching all of this with a distraught look on his face. It was Phoebe's father, Truman Anderson. He was examining a landscape painting very attentively. Dad, what do you think? Do you want me to ask another appraiser to take a look? Just then, the man who was trying to sell them the painting asked nervously, Mr. Anderson, can't you see that this is an authentic landscape? We need a decision right away. This certainly looks like a 17th century Dutch landscape. The material looks authentic and I can even see the proper copper and iron pigments. Something's not right. While they were all discussing the painting, Kevin slowly walked up and asked, May I take a look? Aren't you Dorothy Jones's son-in-law? Dad, this is the antique appraiser that I brought in as a consultant. Please be careful. If it turns out to be a forgery, we don't want to owe this man anything for damages, Truman said. Don't worry, sir. The atmosphere in the room changed. Everyone watched patiently to see if Kevin would make a fool of himself. After only half a minute, Kevin's eyes flashed and he stood up straight with an astonished look on his face. How much does he want for it? $200,000. That sounds about right. Can you tell me why this thing is worth $200,000? Have you ever heard of someone named Vermeer? Of course I have. One of the finest Dutch masters. But he only painted 2 landscapes in his lifetime. How could this possibly be a Vermeer? Look closely at the style. The artist's use of light and shadow. There's a distinctive depth to this piece. And the pigments match Vermeer's preferences too. This is a lost Vermeer landscape. I'm certain of it. Truman looked at Kevin in surprise. This time he pulled a magnifying glass out of his suit pocket. Less than a minute later, Truman practically jumped up and down. Mr. Landau, please arrange for this gentleman's payment. Hurry up before the seller changes his mind. Fine, then go ahead and pay me. I still have other things to do today, and I've already wasted a lot of time here. Kevin laughed to himself. The man had no idea what he was giving up for only $200,000. He obviously knew nothing about art, just some guy making a quick buck. So how did someone like that get hold of such a valuable piece of art? Kevin really wanted to find out. Kevin had correctly identified a lost Vermeer landscape in the store, but then he suddenly noticed a few traces of dirt on the painting. Then he recalled that when he bent down to look at the painting, there was a slight moldy scent. Could this painting have been buried somewhere? As soon as he stepped out of the door, he spotted the man who had just sold the painting. Then he tailed him to see where he could be heading. He saw the man go below street level to Wacker Drive. This was in a part of the underground street that was off the beaten path. Greg, did you sell that thing? I sold the painting for $200,000. Easy money. Should we head down to the south side again tonight and see what else we can dig up? Yeah, Max, good idea. Kevin, who was hiding in the shadows, heard everything they were saying. He couldn't believe it. Could they be grave robbers? Just then, the head grave robber suddenly looked over to where he was hiding. Who's over there? You guys are really bold. Robbing tombs? Aren't you superstitious? Kevin was stunned to see Officer Emmet. You know you're interrupting a private meeting. Actually, she'd been aware of this group of thieves for a long time. Early this morning, she spotted them near one of the older cemeteries on the south side. She followed them here. She wanted to call for backup, but the cell signal was really crappy down there under the street. You're under arrest. I've recorded your conversation, and thanks for having it out here in public, where I wouldn't need a warrant. If you surrender quietly, I might ask the court to go easy on you. I'll tell you what, why don't you come with us? Then a few more men came out of the shadows and joined them. Emmet instinctively reached for her hip, but she wasn't in uniform, so her service weapon was locked up safely at the station. Just as Kevin was about to show himself, he saw Officer Emmet knock one of them to the ground with a beautiful sidekick. Put your hands on your heads and kneel on the ground. The man jumped up, pulled out a switchblade, and held it to her throat. Not today, officer. It looks like maybe we're going to be arresting you instead. He motioned for the others to tie her up with their belts. You guys really are scum. Kevin, hurry up and call the police. Shut up, Johnny said as he grabbed her mouth and poured in a bottle of pills. Kevin saw the other thugs starting to move towards him. He ripped through them in seconds, tossing the large men left and right. Who the hell are you? Who am I? I'm an antiques appraiser. After he said this, the man fainted. Officer Emmet looked like she was in shock. Are you all right? Do you think you can stand up? Kevin took the belts and walked over to the unconscious men. He began to search their bodies as he tied them up. He found a pill bottle. Looks like they were tranquilizers. I may have swallowed a couple, but it would still be nice to get an ambulance down here right away. And a couple of squad cars. Kevin nodded and then he took out his phone to call for help. Why are you here? This guy sold a 17th century Dutch landscape to Anderson Antiques. I had my suspicions, so I followed him here. Tell me honestly, who are you really? What I mean is, what school of martial arts are you from? I'm sorry, I don't understand your question. I know what I saw. When you defeated these men, your moves look spontaneous. But I saw something deeper in your movements. I've studied martial arts for years, and I studied Eastern philosophy in college. You are keeping something from me. Officer Emmet, you stream a lot of kung fu movies in your off time, don't you? Do you still want to play dumb? Didn't you take an oath not to let outsiders see you using your techniques? I have no idea what you're talking about. I used to practice some taekwondo when I was a kid. Everything I just did was entirely subconscious. Of course I'm talking about developing your inner power. A lot of people spend years working on this. You seem to be tapping into it without even trying. This sounds like a comic book or something. Are you kidding me? Trust me, I'm deadly serious. There's a lot going on that the average person doesn't know about. And there are some very powerful people who have decided to put their energy into developing businesses, believe it or not. They've become wealthy entrepreneurs, and some of them have very powerful families. Even with all her training, the few pills that she'd taken were starting to make her sleepy. They heard sirens approaching. Looks like the cavalry is here. Wait, take me home. Can you please do this for me? Kevin nodded and waited for the officers to arrive. Officer Emmet mustered enough strength to give them their orders so they could take the men to the station for processing. Kevin managed to get Officer Emmet home safely. I'm really curious. How did you get your strength? If you haven't gotten it through any special training, did you have any help from someone? Help? He thought of the 2 pills Cook had given him. They were supposed to help him restore his strength. Maybe they did something more, and he quickly took out his phone and called his friend. Mitch, I want to know what was in those pills you gave me.
One of them was supposed to help boost your energy levels, and the other was supposed to help you with your focus. Why are you suddenly asking me about this? Are you having a problem because of the pills?
No, don't worry. I'm fine. Just curious. His eyes fell on the top shelf of her bookcase. There were a lot of martial arts books, guides to natural health, but there were also a couple of old books with tattered spines. Kevin walked over and took them down. The first one he opened was a very old translation of an ancient book on training your ki, your inner power. He was surprised to find that it talked a lot about what Officer Emmet had been saying about training your internal energy. It was a quick read, maybe because of his recent improvement in his focus. Kevin put that book aside and flipped open another one. It talked about the yin and yang, negative and positive energy, and harmony, as well as some ways to make natural medications. When Officer Emmet woke up and saw that Kevin was still there, she immediately jumped up from her chair. Why haven't you left yet? I've got something here and I hope it can help you, Kevin said as he slowly took a reddish-brown pill from his pocket.
Hi, Kevin here. If you are wondering what happens next, then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of Insta Empire now with the link in the description.